All right, it is 7 o'clock, so we will get started with the CCSD59 Board of Education meeting. It is Wednesday, August 14th. I will appoint Mr. Sager as, Dr. Sager, sorry, as Secretary Pro Tem. If you could call the roll, please.
Zach?
Present.
Eddie?
Present.
Johnson?
Here.
Sager? Present. Sensney?
Present.
All right, Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, first agenda item is the Wold and Nicholas Brentonwood update.
Thank you, Board of Education. Again, I'm Mike Eichhorn from Wold Architects, and we're going to be reviewing the addition and renovation to Brentwood Elementary. Last time we met, we presented the plans, the exterior of the building, and tonight we're going to show how the building has progressed and the interior environments that have been created and will be created as part of this. Dave Torres will be presenting the schedule and show the progress of the bid documents for that. Okay. So I'm going to go to the next slide here. So we'll go over that. We'll go over it. Also, if you have questions, we'll also have a control estimate if needed to ask questions about. Okay. So you remember that there is a dedicated entry for the gymnasium, so it could be used after hours. That this entry could be blocked off from the remaining part of the school. So on the left is the new gym. Straight ahead there is the entry, and just to the left of the entry, that's the gym lobby space, which is kind of a connecting nexus between the new building and the existing building. The interior of the gymnasium, it is a two-section full-size gymnasium. We have bleachers on the left there, and those pull out onto the floor. The floor is a multi-purpose type flooring. We've incorporated the school colors into the scheme, and on top you'll also see all the natural light coming in, as well as the sound panels to bring down the echoing and whatnot that you'd hear in the gymnasium. Okay. As part of the addition, there's also a gym lobby, which actually functions as a breakout space for students. So a kind of an extended learning environment that can be a story time there, or it could just be a place to gather as a group before going to PE. Okay. There's a display case on the right. There's writable surfaces. There you'll see on the left there, kind of the boxed out area. All the materials are very durable. As far as the wall surfaces, have a durable tile. The floor is a LVT, which is a vinyl product, very durable, long-lasting. Okay, a lot of natural light. And at the end of the day, just making a new, exciting environment for the kids, something new that they maybe haven't experienced in the building today. So, okay, the kindergarten, there is a kindergarten room that's being added, and the layout really was worked very closely with the staff and the users, so it was really a lot of input from the teachers that are going to actually be using the space. The main floor is a hard surface. There is kind of a story time there. You can see on the right, that's soft carpeting. And there's a series of appropriately sized furniture, chairs that are lower, shelving. The cubbies are in the space there on the left. You can see the cubbies. And the color tones are very neutral. There's nothing there that's going to be overexciting in any way. So this was really built upon the feedback and input from the actual users of the space.
Is that carpet or a rug?
On the right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's carpet.
Carpet. So it's installed permanently. Or is it hard surface underneath?
It is in, I'll have to verify
Okay.
that. I'm pretty sure it's installed,
Okay.
but I will verify that. Yeah. Good question though. There's also a variety of furniture, so you'll see on the upper right kind of a intervention space there, kidney-shaped table, and then on the left you have more standard flexible type furniture.
It is most of this is flexible furniture, right? So the
Yeah, you'll
tables
see like
go with
the right there in
chairs.
front of you, the bookcases all have wheels, so those can be manipulative. And then to the left, yeah, all the furniture is relatively lightweight to be movable. Okay, chairs are all stackable. Okay. This is a view of the art room. Again, taking in a lot of the natural light. This was the space that was renovated from the existing gymnasium. Again, a lot of input from the instructors and the users of the space. Again, flexibility, very durable furniture, vinyl flooring, which is easy to clean. It's kind of a standard across the district. You've probably experienced it in other buildings, kind of a rubber vinyl type tile. And same thing with consistency with the casework, the shelving. We really want to try to create a standard in the building itself. Okay. Staff area currently is kind of a mixture of different size spaces, kind of leftover space. This is a way to unify it, create a central space where staff can gather, not only for lunch, but also for the work space, right? So again, paying attention to the collaborative nature of the staff and how they share information about students and kind of plan out their days. Okay. As part of the Learning Resource Center renovation, there are some existing rooms there now. Those will be renovated into, you'll see kind of at the back wall there, those are small group spaces, ESL spaces that front the LRC, but also there's doors that go into the corridor beyond. So there's a lot of flexibility there, a lot of transparency, and really kind of giving a refresh to the existing cafeteria. Taking out the carpet, putting in the LVT flooring. Okay. This is a space that is currently not used as a classroom, but the idea here is that it will be a flexible learning space, flexible classroom. At the far end there, up the upper left, those are walls that can be collapsed and folded to create multiple size of group rooms, so small, medium, large. That's a way of thinking of it. Okay. Any questions so far on that? Okay. So as far as the project schedule, we have met a number of times with the Village of Des Plaines. We've gotten the okay to proceed. There was no variance needed for the zoning. The MWRD, we have the early foundation permit, which allows us to start construction. And that's been received and approved. So we're ready to go on that. With the Regional Office of Education, we will be meeting in September to get the final building permit. Says September 5th there. That's more of a preliminary meeting, but the final permit will be issued after the board approves the project. Okay. Any questions about that? Okay.
Let me jump in here,
Yeah.
Mike. Is
if
that
you
cool?
could- yeah.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Dave Torres with Nicholas. Happy to be joining you this evening. Just a high-level snapshot of where we're at in terms of the project schedule. So we are currently out to bid. We had our pre-bid meeting on July 29th, which was very well attended. I was here, and so we got a lot of positive feedback. Still in the bidding cycle right now. We expect to receive bids on the 22nd, and just kind of based on some of the feedback we received from contractors, as well as we've had a couple of bids actually due in the last couple of weeks, we've seen some really great competitive pricing. So very much looking forward to the 22nd, just to see how things shake out. We'll follow up with a very quick turnaround on the letter of recommendation, which ultimately is just after we've had a chance to review the bids once they've come in, to make sure that contractors have the complete scope of work covered and that they're good to go. And then looking for board approval in September. And then, based on the update that Mike just gave on the permitting, we're in great shape to be able to go ahead and get started with some of the site demo and site work in the middle of September. So that is the intent. And then we have substantial completion scheduled for August of 25.
So my question was on the letter of recommendation. I think this came up during facilities and finance. The board will get that almost immediately, right? So we'll have time to look it over before and digest it and ask questions before the meeting on the 11th.
Yes.
Can you define substantial completion? What's to be done after substantial completion?
Yeah, so typically substantial completion is, when the building's at a place in construction where it can be used. There's going to be items that may remain between substantial and final completion, whether it's punch list items, miscellaneous things, but at that point, we look to have the building occupiable with a few minor things that may linger.
I know last time I asked a little bit about how measures you were all planning on taking to not disturb instruction as much as possible. In terms of schedule for crews and what are our hours working beyond the school day? And are they working during student breaks, like Christmas break, spring break, et cetera?
I think that, the way that it's structured bid-wise, the work is going to be taking place during normal business hours. But certainly, while students are on break is when, we'll take the opportunity to go into the existing buildings to see if there's any opportunity to do work in there, as well as just taking advantage of any of the louder activities that we may have. But certainly, the nature of doing construction with adjacencies like that is there's going to be some obstacles that we just have to work around. And that's, something that we work hard to communicate with your principals and your staff to make sure that they understand, what's going to be happening day to day, week by week. We're going to be meeting once a week, and we'll be providing look ahead schedules to your team so that you can see exactly what the activities are planned for each week. So if we need to pivot or make some special provisions because, hey, we have testing going on, or we've got, some people occupying this space, can we push some activities or shift some things around? We can absolutely have those conversations. So a lot of the detailed planning, as we get into the, post-approval and getting contractors on site, we'll have site logistics plans that are put together, reviewed with your team, just to make sure everyone knows, how we're going to be able to operate safely around the site. It's a good question. Is there a separate slide for the budget? Should I touch on that now?
Yeah, we're gonna.
I guess I could have just said there was an updated
There is a
control
budget,
estimate
yeah.
that was included, I think, in your board packet. So,
Yeah, if you can.
you can if you want. It's got a lot of detail, and I wasn't planning to go line by line unless you want to. But, in general, we're in great shape. So if there are any questions specific to the budget, I can do my best to answer them. But, this is a snapshot in time, based on current market feedback from our contractors. That's kind of been our process for years, is just getting that contractor feedback. So we've gone through it a couple iterations now. So this is that last look before the bid.
I'm curious, do we have information on how many contractors bid on each of the line items?
So this is not the bid. This is just the budget. So
Yeah.
we've got,
Present to potentially bid. Right?
yeah.
Just
So
'cause
we
the
had
meeting.
over 40 contractors show up at our pre-bid meeting. So they're not all going to bid prime necessarily, but we will for sure have a pretty decent spread within each bid package of coverage. Does that answer your question? Because it's not necessarily tied to the budget, because the budget is feedback from maybe 2 or 3 contractors. But for the bid, we did have a great turnout at the pre-bid, so we're expecting to get some very competitive numbers.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so the next item would be 4.0, comments and suggestions from the public. Anybody here today wish to address the board? Nope. If not, we can move on to 5.01, FOIA requests.
Since the last report to the Board of Education, we have received and responded to 3 FOIA requests.
Thank you. 5.02 monthly updates. Dr. Bresnahan?
All right, so just to review, a lot of work that's been taking place over the summer and then getting us ready for the start of the school year. So I'm going to go through kind of each of our departments, and then if there are questions, we can open those for discussion. A lot of this are things that you've probably seen in some of our weekly updates, but always nice to get a recap. So starting off, we have officially welcomed our staff back for the 24-25 school year. We will officially welcome back most of our students tomorrow. Ridge obviously started in July, and then our ELC and kindergarten will obviously start a day or so later. So we've had lots of back to school events. We have our first day with our students tomorrow, which is very exciting. Our Institute Day district-wide was on Tuesday. We were able to do a Zoom session, and we initially were thinking about hosting all of our staff at the Belvedere, but we are now at about 1,100 staff, and we exceed the capacity of the Belvedere. So we pivoted and we did a Zoom, and it was just a great opportunity to talk about some celebrations and our priorities for the school year. Additionally, communications, you'll see, I think at our last meeting, Rachel was here as well, but Rachel, give us a wave in the back. Our new Director of Communications and Community Relations, Rachel Jobski. So she has hit the ground running with lots of work to do. We have officially received the INSPRA report. So we will be taking a deep dive into that and then doing a schedule and plan on how we will disseminate that information for the board as well as for our staff and for our community. From our associate superintendent related to accountability, assessment, and professional learning. So we got our preliminary results back from IAR, Access, and our 5 essentials. All of those culminate into our school report card, which will be released right at the start of November. So we will be sharing out and doing a public presentation, but results are looking very positive and excited about the growth that we are seeing there. And we've had some initial conversations at our school about those results as well. We have already kicked off our iReady benchmarking for the fall at Ridge, and then we'll be doing that in the first few weeks for our students at all of our other schools. And then we will have those results that we will share out in our typical format at our October board meeting. We've been giving you updates throughout the summer around professional learning, but this room, as well as all of the rooms here in this building, were heavily utilized over the summer. We had many, many sessions offered, and we had I think almost 50% of our certified teachers who participated in some type of professional learning this summer. And so that was very, very exciting. And a big thank you to all of the people who facilitated those sessions and learning for our staff. And then we had 22 different sessions that focused on all of our curricular initiatives and implementations that took place this week for Opening Institute Day. Moving on, for business services, we already had a facilities and finance meeting earlier this evening. We have talked about our budget ad nauseum, I believe. So September, we are hoping for the final approval from the board. And then we're going to prepare for our levy, which will begin discussions and approval in December. And just a good reminder that 3.4% is our anticipated CPI that we'll be using as we begin preparing our levy. In curriculum and instruction, a lot going on. We are in year 2 of our literacy implementation, as well as kicking off year 1 for our science and our social science implementation for grades 6 through 8. We continue to focus on our dual language programming, really focusing on our biliteracy instruction, which obviously all of our curricular initiatives impact our dual language as well. But as we begin looking at our facilities long-range planning, that will also impact those conversations that we started around dual language and potential solutions. So those things are going to come together in the coming months. We have begun a kindergarten review process where we're really looking at refreshing our program and exploring greater opportunities for purposeful play and more developmentally appropriate opportunities for our early learners. And we'll be gathering a team of kindergarten staff and administrators to create a council to do a review of our kindergarten program. We have a very exciting opportunity to collaborate and articulate with our District 214. So as our students leave 8th grade, we want to ensure that they are aligning with the math that they will be experiencing in grades 9 through 12. So the MCMI initiative is being hosted by District 214 and involving all of our junior high math teachers, which is a very exciting opportunity.
And I wanted to ask on that. So how does that fit into sort of like a review process for the math curriculum, right? Because it's going to be a collaborative effort, my understanding, between 214 and all the feeder districts to sort of.
Yes, exactly. So we actually reached out to MCMI while District 214 we were also talking about how do we create a regional collaboration around math overall between 6th through 12th grade. We know that we need to really align that. In light of recent mandates and where we're going. Now, we already reached out to MCMI because we want to do internal work with our junior high math teachers to really dive deep into that standards alignment, mathematical practices, which they really did not get when we did that original adoption back during COVID and before we implemented our review plan. So all of this learning that we're going to do internally, because we're working with them internally. In fact, we had them here for our Institute Day, and we're also going to be working with them as well as many of our neighboring districts, as you saw on the board update with District 214. So that is really meant to be like a phase one of really deepening our learning so that in a year or two, when we are in our framework, when we are meeting with our staff, we're going to be able to start moving into looking at resources a little quicker.
And this is always sort of the structure for the curriculum now, is right? We adopt, we roll out,
Yeah.
and then we review, and
Yeah.
that review will take part of this.
Yes.
As part of
This is like an early diving in, especially with our junior high staff. And it's been a great start so far. I'm very excited about this. So it's awesome. We thank 214. They have done a great deal of work to get this up and running.
And that really aligns with one of our other priorities this year in terms of our transition planning. Last year, we really focused on the 5th to 6th grade transition, which I think we are seeing the fruits of our labor as 6th graders are beginning their time with us, but also really looking at the EC to kindergarten and now that 8th grade up to high school transition planning. Varsity tutors is something that you have heard about before, so we continue to work with them to really identify how we can bring this resource to our families in a safe and effective way. There's obviously a lot when we enter into agreements with other individuals who will be serving our students, and we want to make sure that they are high quality and that they are meeting the needs of our students and meet the same standards and criteria that we have for our own staff. So more to come on that, and we're going to be looking at what opportunities they can provide. We've also completed last year the TDP, the Talent Development Program review, which has led to a 3-year action plan that will begin implementation this year. And then lastly, out of curriculum instruction, we are continuing to look at our junior high master schedule. So in the spring, a steering committee was gathered in order to really look and get input on our current junior high schedules and then start to create a vision for how we can best meet the needs of our students with the hope of having a finalized schedule mutually created with this team and our junior high representatives by November for an implementation for the 25-26 school year. So that is exciting things to come in curriculum and instruction.
Will we be seeing presentations on these over the coming year?
Yes, absolutely. As those plans continue to formulate, we'll be bringing that information for those committees to be presenting. In terms of human resources, obviously summer is the busy season for HR, and they have hired collectively over 100 new hires across all of our different job categories. We've also looked at our resource allocation plans in terms of how we're hiring interventionists, how we're looking at our ESL resource positions, all of those new positions that were created, ensuring that we have high quality people in those, as well as really continuing to monitor our class size and our needs for special education as those numbers fluctuate at the start of the school year. We are currently, for the board's awareness, we are currently still enrolling students as of today. We have a range of class sizes today from 9 to 25. As of today, we had to make a slight shift. It was at 27. So we are looking at some of our singleton classrooms of having to cap some class sizes and offer new enrolled students opportunities at other schools to ensure that we do not exceed some of these class size limitations. So just for the board's awareness and our community's awareness. Overall, we've had about 120 transfers within district, meaning staff moving from one position into another. So maybe from the classroom into an interventionist position or into an administrative position or from one classroom to another or across schools. And then really exciting was last week we had the opportunity to welcome all of our new teachers for our new teacher network and mentoring, orientation, and onboarding. We have 2 new facilitator positions, which we are thankful to the board for approving. So thank you to Kate and Julie, who did an outstanding job working with our HR team to really welcome and prepare our newest members of District 59 to be successful for the start of this school year.
So before you move on, can
Yes.
I just clarify? So when we have a singleton classroom that reaches its cap size, if we get new students, we have to send those students to a different school?
That is one lever or mechanism that we have to
But
explore.
that does happen?
That has happened. Yes. In fact, that happened today. And that was happening in the spring of last year. Okay, technology and innovation. So we are very excited about our new STEM resources. We were able to secure a grant in the spring of last year for $319,000 from the state. And with that, we were able to buy a whole bunch of awesome STEM materials and curriculum that our LRC directors are really working with our technology department to implement. So Ridge is already up and running. And then our other schools are participating in some professional development this week. And then we will be implementing across all of our elementary schools this year, which is very exciting. We also did our transition, as we talked about previously, from our Comcast to our ICN for our district internet. It's saving the district a good deal of money and upping our speed for connectivity. And that was completed last Friday. They did the turnover, and all systems go so far, which has been a great transition for us. All right, moving on to student services and support. Want to give a very big shout out for all of our student services staff, our community outreach specialists, as well as all of our community partners who participated in our back to school events that took place over a Friday and a Saturday. All of our staff who attended as well, and our administrative team, just coming and welcoming students, handing out backpacks and school supplies. Always an amazing way to kick off our year. As well as the many events that take place at our schools as well, and with support of our PTOs. PLC Plus, professional learning, you are going to hear a lot about that this year. PLC stands for Professional Learning Communities, and we are partnering with the organization PLC Plus to do our professional learning. So our administrators had the opportunity to participate in 2 days of intense training on that. And then that will now be implemented with the rest of our grade level teams. We're going to have opportunities for teacher leadership at each of our grade level teams, which is exciting pathway forward, and really giving our staff a framework and opportunity to collectively work together to reflect on professional practices that is data informed at the classroom level. And that is really where I think the magic happens, and an exciting next layer. Now that we have our core curriculum in place, PLCs are going to be the next opportunity for staff to really enhance their learning with our students. We have also implemented some improved safety processes and practices. So you'll notice when you come to visit all of our schools that we have our kiosks up and running. We appreciate everybody's willingness to accommodate those operations just so that we can provide a safe and secure environment for our students and for our staff. And we will all be badging in as we enter new spaces, and it's just a great enhancement for our safety and actually making our vestibules the secure vestibules that they were meant to be. Lastly, we are very excited about our family education series, which is we are partnering with our District 59 Foundation to help sponsor a series of family education evenings. We have 3 booked so far on a variety of topics. All parents within District 59 and family members are welcome to attend. We will have more information about them, but really on timely and relevant topics that our families we know may need support in navigating some things that our young people are facing today. So excited for those opportunities. And I think that is the last slide. Any questions on any of that? That's a lot captured in there, but hopefully you hear a lot about these over time and really exciting day-to-day work that really impacts our ability to serve students.
Great. Thank you. Any questions? Nope. Okay, so next we can move on to our consent agenda. We have items 6.01 through 6.05. Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Move in second. Any discussion? Anybody need to pull anything? Good. If not, we can do a roll call.
Eddie?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
Sager, aye. Setsney?
Aye.
Zach?
Aye.
All right, motion passes. 7.01, the approval of the ELC HVAC replacement. We've talked about this a lot. I don't think we need to discuss any further, any more input, but so if we can get a motion to approve the HVAC replacement in the amount of no more than 5.1 million.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
I just want to say this I think came up maybe one of the first facilities and finance committee meetings I attended, and it's been a long time coming, and it's important that we get it working for our littlest learners, and it's going to be great.
Great. Roll call vote then.
Johnson?
Aye.
Sager, aye. Setsney?
Aye.
Zach?
Aye.
Eddie?
Aye.
Motion passes. We can move on to 8.01, the nomination and election of a new board secretary. Oh, sorry, 8.0. First, we have to appoint our new board members. So if I could get a motion, I guess I can make the motion.
I can.
Yeah, go ahead.
We'll probably say the names.
Where do you have that?
Right there. Yeah.
All of it, or well, it's my pleasure. Do we have the names here? I don't know the last name, so what?
This is payback for having to say your last name.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is. And we have Nicole. What's the last name? How do you pronounce it?
Just read the be it resolved part and put their names in.
Yeah, but you don't have the names here. Right. Be it resolved that on the 14th, it's actually, first thing, it's my pleasure to say it. Be it resolved that on the 14th day of August 2024, the Community Consolidated School District 59 Board of Education appoints Michelle Notini and Nicole Kinzinger to fill in the vacancies on the Board of Education until the April 2025 school board elections.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, I'd like to make a statement. So I want to thank everyone who applied to fill these positions. I know it's challenging to put yourself out there, and we need those willing to serve, even if it's uncomfortable. I look forward to working with our new board members, but I want to take a moment to explain my vote. I've written out my words here, so I'm going to speak carefully because I want to respect the confidentiality of the process, and I want to show respect to our new board members. District 59 is very diverse. We are a district where a plurality of our students are Hispanic. Most of our students are from families considered low income, and this fraction continues to grow along with all the associated challenges for students. We have one of the highest percentages of English learners in the state, predominantly Spanish-speaking students. As a board, we have lost important voices with the resignations of our 2 Hispanic members. While I know it is comforting to my fellow board members to add members who they have known and with whom they agree, I, however, feel that a board works best with diverse viewpoints. This allows ideas to be challenged from every direction. Within the applicant pool, there were several individuals who could have added to the breadth of that discussion. who could have represented parts of our community not represented now. Some had extensive experience in working on childhood trauma, which is extremely important to help understand the needs of District 59 students. Some had firsthand knowledge of the challenges of poverty on children and families. Some had connections into our Spanish-speaking community that we now lack. Some spoke of their personal migrant experiences or those of their family members. Those perspectives matter. They matter doubly so in District 59. Because District 59 should be about what is needed to educate all the children of this community, it diminishes us when we pass up opportunities to hear more perspectives. I will therefore be respectfully voting no.
Thank you. Any other comments? If not, roll call vote.
Sager, nay. Chesney,
Aye.
Zach,
Aye.
Eddie,
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye. Okay. Yes, this is the fun part. Now, read the oath. Okay, now you can come up to the podium. Michelle, Nicole. Oh, you can.
Yep.
Yes. And the mics are right there.
We have to like hold it, push it, so it's great.
All right, now you get to both read
The same in unison?
the whole thing in unison. Yes.
Okay. In unison? Yeah. Okay, great. Are you ready? Do we just start at each school board member?
There's a copy right there.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, I think it's.
We can just start there,
insert
right?
our names.
Sorry,
Each-
aye.
Oh, I named. Okay. I, Nicole
Michelle
Kitzinger,
Notini,
do solemnly swear or affirm that
I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of member of the Board of Education of Community Consolidated
School District
59
in accordance with the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Illinois, and the laws of the State of Illinois, to the best of my ability. I further swear that I shall respect taxpayer interests by serving as a faithful protector of the school district's assets. I shall encourage and respect the free expression of opinion by my fellow board members and others who seek a hearing before the board, while respecting the privacy of students and employees. I shall recognize that a board member has no legal authority as an individual, and that decisions can be made only by a majority vote at a public board meeting. I shall abide by majority decisions of the board while retaining the right to seek changes in such decisions through ethical and constructive channels. As part of the Board of Education, I shall accept the responsibility for my role in the equitable and quality education of every student in the school district. I shall foster with the board extensive participation of the community, formulate goals, define outcomes, and set the course for Community Consolidated School District 59. I shall assist in establishing a structure and an environment designed to ensure all students have the opportunity to attain their maximum potential through a sound organizational framework. I shall strive to ensure a continuous assessment of student achievement and all conditions affecting the education of our children in compliance with state law. I shall serve as education's key advocate on behalf of students and our community's schools
to
to advance the vision for Community Consolidated School District 59. And I shall strive to work together with the district superintendent to lead the school district toward fulfilling the vision the board has created, fostering excellence for every student in the areas of academic skills, knowledge, citizenship, and personal development.
That's it. Congrats, good job.
I must say, it was a good job, Unison.
Sing for them.
Yes, very, very.
All right. Welcome. So the first thing that we have to do, or the next thing that we all have to do, and the first thing for you would be we have to nominate and elect a new board secretary.
I nominate Nikki Yeti.
I second.
Any discussion?
Just want to say thank you if you're going to be taking it.
All right. If nothing else, think we have a roll call vote, please.
I'm sorry, I'm going to do it not in alphabetical order because it's not here on my sheet. So let's do Chesney.
Aye.
We'll go Kitzinger.
Aye.
Notini.
Aye.
Zach.
Aye.
Eddie.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Sager. Aye.
All right. Motion passes. I don't think you have to, yeah, you just have to. Okay. So we can move on to 9.01, the tentative budget discussion, which we discussed earlier at the 5 o'clock meeting. I don't know, Ron, if you want to mention anything else.
I would like to mention that we have done a comprehensive budget that was created with the business office. It was discussed at our finance facilities meeting from 5 to 6 earlier, as well as our discussions with the budget last week and the month before. So we will have this linked up to the website, and I'm going to say it's by Friday. We will have it, the comprehensive document, and you can see everything there for the public.
Great, thank you. Any questions? Good, okay. If not, we have the reports of the Board of Education. Michelle, Nicole, I assume no report. I have no report. Yeah. So we'll start with
Yeah,
you.
I'll go first. So I attended the back to school events at John Jay and the Oasis Mobile Home Park. And I want to thank our community outreach folks, the people who ran that giveaway for the backpacks. I believe Costco donates a whole bunch of backpacks, so we want to thank them for their generosity. It's a great chance to get out and see our community partners because a lot of the libraries show up, a lot of the other community partners, the townships, that sort of thing. The police departments show up and interact with the kids, and it's great. I also on Monday attended the Ed Red legislative dinner. It was a good chance to meet with some state senators and representatives, to have discussions with board members about what we would like to see them start working on. A lot of it the discussion focused around spending, especially TIF adjustments that school boards would like to see happen. A lot of discussion of unfunded mandates. There was a lot of discussion about absenteeism as an issue that's ongoing and what we could possibly work on to maybe get some funding around mental health or that sort of thing, and other wraparound services. So it was a good chance to get out and get involved with our reps and senators.
Just to add to, I was at the J event as well, the backpack event, and it's quickly becoming one of my favorite district-wide events. It's awesome. It's really beautiful to see what happens when our community comes together to help and support each other. And just know that if you donated a backpack that is going directly to a child and that's going to assist their education so much this year. Yeah, so that was a wonderful event. And I also want to just take a moment to say thank you to our kindergarten staff who, I had a kindergartner last year, and all of the starting school events can be daunting for a 5 or 6 year old. And that staff has put in extra time to give to those kids and make them feel excited and embraced by this community. So thank you so much to our kindergarten teachers especially, and to our PTOs who are putting on those events right now.
I too went to the J event. It was wonderful. I actually drove past before 11 o'clock and the line was wrapped around. The event was going great, and just seeing everybody come together was wonderful.
We'll just only attended our home's house party to welcome back the kids, which was quite interesting to see how exciting the kids are to go back to school. It seemed chaotic, but they had lots of fun. And I did have a pleasure to meet our new SRO at Holmes. He seems very friendly and open to help the kids, and the principal herself did enjoy collaboration with him. So I'm looking forward to how it's going to look.
Yeah, he was at the J event as well. I met him. Seemed like a nice guy.
Excellent.
Good. Okay. I just had one thing to mention, and maybe Mrs. Pullen, you could, before we had it's about committee assignments. Now that we have a couple new board members, I don't know if you want to add anything, but we used to have that sheet. I think could you send that to everybody so we could, and then that way we can each fill in. There's board committees, which at this point, kind of like we did today, at least to me, it makes sense to just make that open to all board members rather than, assign certain board members to certain committees. So if you ever want to attend, it's an open meeting, anybody can attend. And then that way we always have representation. We try to do those before the regular board meetings, but then there's also SLT level committees that if you have any interest in serving on, we can maybe just put your name by them, and then we can divvy out who's part of what. That was quick. Thank you. Good.
Can I ask if there's a curriculum committee? I know there was one. Is there a board level curriculum committee or something like it?
There's not a board curriculum committee.
There was previously.
Yeah, so
though?
there was a curriculum committee that was led by, it wasn't an official board. So the policy dictates which ones are board versus which ones are kind of district committees. So there was not an official board one, but it was run previously by our instruction department. So we have internal committees, but not necessarily ones that have board representatives on them, because all of the curriculum work that we do is present and discussed at all of our board meetings, which was why we made that shift. I think, Joe, you were maybe the only one here when we made that shift from having it be a limited committee versus when we have curriculum topics, we bring them to the full board for discussion publicly.
Yeah, Mardell and I were on the committee, and we got the feeling that we were hearing the same thing that then got brought to the board anyhow, and it was curriculum's like a core board function, so it should really happen in this meeting.
So with that, if there are any topics around those things of curriculum that you want to hear a more in-depth report on or have a more a broader discussion on, we can absolutely identify that, plan for it, and then bring it to the board. That serves a just more open opportunity for all 7 of you to really discuss and get the same information at the same time, as opposed to redundancies.
Okay, so yeah, take a look at that email. You emailed it? Okay. And then we can discuss next time. No informational items? Okay, we do have a short closed session, so if I could get a motion to go into closed session for items A through F.
I'll move that we go into closed session. Yeah, 7:49.
Second.
Just put initials.
On the job training. All right, roll call vote.
All right. Kitzinger?
Aye.
Notini?
Aye.
Zach?
Aye.
Eddie? Aye. Johnson?
Aye.
Sager?
Aye.
Chesney?
Aye.
All right, go into closed session.
Well, I was
Thank